Over the weekend, I got a chance to go to Indiana and sit down with VP nominee Mike Pence. Here's what he had to say about being on the trail with Donald Trump. Lots has changed over the last few days within the campaign. Paul Manafort resigning. Why did he resign?
I think Paul didn't want to be a distraction going forward. We've got a little more than 80 days left in this campaign. We saw a couple of great new additions.
Has he been including you in some of these decisions?
Donald Trump and I talk every day, and sometimes several times a day. I think the American people know the person that's running Donald Trump's campaign for president is Donald Trump.
Last week in Charlotte, he said that he regrets some of the comments that he made. He's really been sticking to the teleprompter. Why do you think he is changing, and is he sincere?
I don't think the message is changing at all. I think people are just getting to know Donald Trump better.
I know you have said that you regretted some of the negative ads in the past. What do you make of Donald Trump with this latest, with his only negative ad?
In Hillary Clinton's America, the system stays rigged against Americans.
Look, elections are about choices, and making sure the American people know the choice that we face in this election. And the failed leadership that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton have brought to the national stage, what the consequences of that have been for the country, is going to be very, very important as we continue to go forward.
Judicial Watch, there's a judge that's associated with the email scandal who has now said that Hillary Clinton's going to have to answer questions under oath. What do you think about that?
It's time for her to go on the record. Look, Hillary is in hiding, and Donald Trump is everywhere. I mean, I think she's gone more than 250 days without a press conference. And you know, it's time for her to step forward and begin to answer these questions.
So, Governor, you're just back from Baton Rouge. How was it?
It was heartbreaking to see the devastation that the flooding that's impacted that community has had, but it was so inspiring to see the determination and the resilience of those families. What was most humbling to us was to see the way that volunteers were showing up, particularly from the faith community. People pouring their lives, their resources, their hearts into total strangers. We were driving through a neighborhood at one point, and Donald Trump made the decision to get out of the car on unscheduled stop. We walked onto a driveway. We met the family where almost all of their earthly possessions were piled in the front yard. And they were starting to piece their life back together. But we not only met that family, but we also met a family that had just arrived in from Tennessee to help them put their lives back together. And to see total strangers coming alongside hurting families and hurting Americans, it's very humbling. It was humbling for both of us, and just such a reminder of what a great country this is.
A lot of people say you're very relatable. You have movie night, you have pizza night. It was just released that you have student loan debt anywhere between $95,000 and $280,000. So you're so relatable. You know, a lot of people can't relate to Donald Trump because he's a billionaire. They like some of the things that he says, and they can relate to some of his messaging. But as far as just real life experience, people like that about you. Do you feel like you're extremely relatable to the American people?
Well, I mean, what you see is what you get with the Pences. We're pretty typical Indiana family, although we've been very blessed. We've been very blessed to be able to serve in public office, representing my hometown in Washington, D.C., and the great privilege of being governor of the state of Indiana is very humbling to me. You know, we've made the decisions that other families have made, but raising 3 kids, putting our kids through college, and making the sacrifices that are necessary to do that.
Governor and father.
Yeah, seems like a great dad. Loves his wife so much. We're going to show you that side of the interview tomorrow, because we heard some great stories, what they're like as a family, their traditions. There were some tears that were shed, too, because they were talking about his dad and how meaningful his relationship was with his dad and how great of a wife she is, which brought her to tears.
Right. I just can't believe the student loan debt. Well, how many years did he go to school?
No, for all 3 of his kids.
Oh, I thought for him.
Loans for his kids. Yeah, wow. Yeah. We did reach out to Tim Kaine. We wanted to do the same thing with him.
Sure.
Make it fair and balanced, and they declined our interview. So hopefully they'll change
after
their
they
mind.
watch that, they'd probably say,
maybe
hey,
they'll change
that was
their
good.
mind. Yeah.
All right.